Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz, business coach for women of color, and in the spirit of wanting to play with my new camera some more, I figured I would let you in on my strategic planning for 2022. We are just a few weeks left, just a few short weeks left until 2022, and I'm super excited for the possibility that's going to happen. So let's talk about strategic planning. So in the spirit of figuring out, what's a great way to kind of plan for the new year, how can we sort of think about our businesses holistically and not just our businesses by themselves, but think about how we can support ourselves in this new year. So what I like to do with my clients is that when we start thinking about, our business for the new year, what we want to do, things that are happening, I like to start off with asking them, well, what words would you like to sort of embody in the new year? Like what words do you really want to make sure are the theme or the core of everything that you do for next year? 9 times out of 10, it's some form of rest. And I 100% am the same way. And for this year, one of my core words is ease. It's not only the core word for just 2022, but I feel like it's also the core word for like my entire life. I like to prioritize my ease as much as I can, like as much as humanly possible. And so one of the words for 2022 for me is ease. My next word for 2022 is building, and this is really representing like the foundations of my business. So if you're following me at all on Instagram, then you might have seen me talk a little bit about this concept of 100 offers. Like every 100 offers is a new stepping stone, a new foundational building block to grow your business and grow your income. Your first 100 offers for your business are really your testing period. Like this is where you test, where you build skills, where you really try to create the foundational messaging for your business. You're doing a lot of co-creation with your community at this stage to really try and help them and serve them as best you can while also making money. During these first 100 offers, when you do start making money, that is proof of concept. And the powerful thing about proof of concept is that when you have made money, when you've made a sale once, you can do it 10 times. And when you do it 10 times, you can do it 100 times. This is how we steadily grow our businesses and grow our income. So 2022, the focus will be building. I just finished my first 100 offers for my one-on-one coaching this past November. During that time, I made $4,000, which may not seem like a lot to some, but when you're just starting out brand spanking new, you've never made money in a business before, that can be really super like encouraging and motivating and really just show you how far you can go with this. So I finished my first foundational 100 offers and now I'm in phase 2, so the next 100. And that next 100 is really going to be focused on continuing to prioritize my ease and my marketing. So what worked before will work again. It'll be a lot of repurposing. It'll be a lot of co-creating with my clients and my community. So things that they're coming to me with questions about, things that we sort of cover in our one-on-one sessions that will also be incorporated into my marketing and my messaging so that my marketing will continue to evolve with the needs of my clients. So that'll be the focus of my next 100 offers. I'm also in the process of saving and building my business reserves, so my business savings, to quit my 9-to-5 job and go full-time in coaching. And doing that requires, well, it doesn't require, but if you want to do it the practical way, a little bit of upfront savings just to give you a roadway ahead. Because if you're familiar, business isn't quite like the 9-to-5 where every single, week or every couple of weeks you're promised a certain amount of money. In business, you kind of want to look at it over a period of time of averaging out. And instead, you focus on saving a bit up front so that you can drip feed how much you need for your expenses along the way. So, first and foremost, again, focusing on my ease. When I think about 2022, I'm thinking about planning my days off. This will be different from person to person, but for me personally, when I think about my business, what I expect from it is to be able to take at least 8 weeks off of vacation a year, like at least 8 weeks off. So I'm building that into my planning. And it's not going to be the same for everyone. Some people might want more days off. Some people might want less days off. The point is not to judge yourself or critique yourself for what it is that you want to do. That's the fault of capitalism. We don't need to be doing that into our businesses. In our liberated businesses, we get to choose how often we want to work with no shame about it. So I plan my time off. I plan about 8 weeks, and I go on ahead and book it in my calendar. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't really know like when I'll be taking vacation time or when I'll have things planned, and that's fine. I don't either. I have general ideas, but nothing set in stone. But I do want to at least put it into my calendar, because sometimes what happens is we, if we don't have anything huge planned, then we just sort of work. It's like our default is to just work if we don't have anything planned to do, or we wait until we feel so burnt out that we're like, I need to take some time off. Like, this is toxicity that we developed in 9-to-5 jobs. We remove that in our businesses. So plan your days off anyways. You can always change it later. And it's always key to rest and take this time before you hit those walls of physical or emotional burnout, especially in your business, because the nature of clients is that you can't predict when they'll actually show up, like as of the day or as of the month. Sometimes when you're doing your marketing, when you're working and you're serving, if you're not watching like how often you actually rest, you can start to get tired. You can start to feel a little bit resentful, and you can start feeling all these unnecessary feelings about your business and about your community, when you could have prevented those things by just taking your time off in advance. Usually in the past, when I started to notice feeling a little bit like things weren't working, or feeling like it wasn't like an equivalent exchange of energies, I would then ask myself, wait a minute, when was the last time I took some time off? And I was like, let me just take some time off. And then after like a week away, a lot of things changed. So definitely make sure that you're taking your time off and scheduling it in advance. Even if you have nothing big scheduled, it'll really help you out in the long run. It'll keep you refreshed and rejuvenated so that you can keep serving and building. All right, next, we'll talk about like my marketing strategy. So in terms of my marketing, the ways that people find out about me and my business are a couple of different ways. So Instagram is my main hub, if you will, because it's short form content and it's the easiest to create. I'm active there most of the week. On my YouTube channel, I have been posting videos, typically about 1 video per week. I'm going to switch that up in the new year. For the new year, to prioritize my ease and focus on really building my messaging, because YouTube videos take a little bit longer to produce, even though I really do them minimal editing, as much like just kind of free form talking as I can to keep the process just simple. It still takes a little bit of extra effort. So I'm going to be switching to posting to my YouTube channel on a bi-weekly basis instead of on a weekly basis. I will assess how that goes at the end of 6 months to see if I still like it. But I think that a bi-weekly schedule will be a really nice complement to the work that I'm doing on Instagram. And it'll help make the YouTube process like a bit more relaxed, a bit more fun, a little bit more to sort of talking to you off the cuff about things that are going on in my business and what I'm experiencing. I'm also going to probably be doing videos that are a little bit longer, just because as I prepare to exit my 9-to-5, I want to share with you the things that I'm doing in preparation, because the online space isn't really super transparent about things that you can be doing to prepare for the eventual leap. And instead, people are kind of flying blind, and they're either, one, feeling too scared to leave because they're just not sure, if they can actually do it or what it'll look like. They don't feel safe enough to be able to take that leap, or they take the leap too soon and they're not prepared and they have to go back. We're not going back. So I'm going to talk to you and create more videos about the things that I'm doing to prepare in terms of my benefits, in terms of retirement planning, in terms of saving and budgeting, which is super huge, even for entrepreneurship. In your 9 to 5 job, you are drip fed your salary. In entrepreneurship, you drip feed yourself your salary. So you still have to budget, because even though you're generating income in your business, you still have expenses that you have to pay along the way. So it can be a bit of a shock to the system when you aren't in a 9 to 5 job to see that you've made these sales, but then maybe you still don't have anything in savings, or if you feel like you should have more in your account in terms of cash than you do. And even though we do the same things in our 9 to 5 jobs, just not having the conditioned safety of a 9 to 5 job can make that experience a little bit more triggering. So I want to talk to you a bit about ways to prepare for that. So that'll be in future videos. So bi-weekly on YouTube, a little bit longer content. The content will also be centered on really like focusing on what issues that my clients are facing, because the issues that my clients have are issues that you have. It's a cyclical, dynamic relationship. When you're planning out your content for your business, it'll be the same thing. How you serve, the questions that your clients have will be the questions that the people in your community have. So instead of thinking, oh, I have to create separate content for my clients, I have to create separate content for people in my community. No, it's all the same. The only difference is that the people who work with you one-on-one, they get direct access to your brain and your ideas, and you can work with them directly to meet them where they're at and help them get to where they want to go. You can't do that to people who are just floating around in your community. They can be served by the information you provide, but it's impossible to be able to reach into someone's brain and meet them where they're at when they're not talking to you one-on-one. So keep that in mind. All right. My plans for Instagram, like I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, I'll be making my next round of 100 offers. And so in this next round of 100 offers, it'll be a lot of refining the content that I've already created. It took me about 8 months to actually create my first foundational 100 offers. And that may seem like a long time at the beginning of my journey. I was only posting to Instagram maybe about 2 or 3 times a week. And during that time, some of that time, I was not making offers. I thought I was making offers. I was not making offers. I was producing content and then thinking, okay, I will produce this piece of content today and tomorrow, and then maybe I'll extend an offer next week. No. That's not that's not how it works. You extend an offer at the end of every single piece of content because of the nature of social media, because of the nature of the internet. People consume your content in the present moment. So in the present moment, that is when they are reminded that you have an offer, that you have a service. If you only tell people about it like once a week or once every couple of days, they'll only process it in those moments that you tell them. So just keep that in mind. So my next 100 offers will be refining the foundation that I've already put in place. I will create new content as inspiration sort of hits and strikes me in the moment, but to keep things simple and to prioritize ease, a lot of that content will be repurposed. It'll be repurposed. I'll read through it, update it to whatever new ideas I have, whatever new questions that clients have. So that'll be the process for these next 100 offers. We cannot talk about building our businesses without talking about building our finances. So my financial goal for the end of June 2022 is $16,000 now in sales. Now, again, you might feel like, oh, Liz, you're talking about leaving your job. Like, that's not going to be enough money. Like, that wouldn't support anybody. Understand that this is just to give about 6 months worth of lead time. This is also completely separate from the 4K that I made in 2021. It's like, what year are we in? 2021. So altogether, my plan is to have 20K in sales by the end of June from a combined of 2021 to June of 2022 to give me 6 months leadway to be able to pay for all of my expenses, my personal expenses and my business expenses, which aren't too much because I keep things lean in my business, and give me that head start. So the goal for the end of December 2022 is 40K in sales. I'm not trying to hit 6 figures in just the second year of business. It's not realistic. And the internet does a great disservice by telling new entrepreneurs, new coaches, that in order for your business to be successful, you have to hit 6 figures in 6 months or in your first year. It's not realistic. It's not a sustainable process. And in actuality, when you just build it piece by piece like this, 100 offers at a time, that compounding growth gets real sexy. And 6 figures becomes a thing of the past relatively quickly, especially compared to how long it takes people to hit 6 figures in 9-to-5 jobs, like depending on where you live and where you work. Me personally, I've almost worked in HR for a decade and still have not hit 6 figures. I live in the New England area, so it's not like salaries are low on this side of the US, but at the same time, I'm working with things like institutional, all the isms. You know all the isms that we're working with here. There's a lot at play. So I am 100% certain that I will hit 6 figures in my business way before I could have hit 6 figures if I continued in HR. So those are my financial goals for 2022. And I only plan financial goals for 6 months out or more. Like, I do not plan financial goals or sales goals for individual months. And I don't do this because of the nature of entrepreneurship. You can have a 10K month, 1 month, and then $0 the next month, and it has nothing to do with you or your messaging. Nothing could have gone wrong. It's just that the people who wanted to work with you just so happened to fall on the same month, or the people who wanted to renew with you happened to fall in the same month that if you knew more people wanted to work with you. Like, it's not anything that it's not anything that speaks directly to like you personally or like what you have done. It's just how things can fall. So because of that, things average out. So over the course of 6 months, I feel like is a pretty conservative way to sort of gauge, like, you know, what finances you'd like to be making during that time. And it will really average out, you know, how many clients you hope to serve during that time. So if you want to save yourself some grief, I would highly recommend avoiding setting sales goals by the month and just set them by minimums a quarter. I like to do 6 months. Again, I'm a little bit conservative. I'm a Capricorn, but that's just me. Also, I plan for 6 months out as well. And I'm giving myself this much lead time before my last day at work, because I want to also give time for actual cash to come into my reserves. So the numbers that I've been talking to you about are sales numbers, and sales numbers are different from actual cash in hand. Sales are just like the projected money that you expect to get. Like, you expect this to come in. Like, someone said they're going to give this to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll get it, but someone said they're going to give it to you. And so the 6 months gives enough runway for actual cash to come in hand, which again is fine because it's no different from your 9-to-5 job. Like, if your 9-to-5 job says they're going to pay you $50,000 and that's your salary, that is not promised guaranteed money. If something happens, they can let you go at any time and you're not going to get the rest of that money. You could have a global panini press like we just did, and people get laid off and they don't get the rest of that money. So, you know, this idea that there is inherent safety in 9-to-5 jobs is really just social conditioning to get us to continue to make the rich even richer. Like, it's unnecessary. So with that being said, we're moving on to my offer. So my actual program for 2022, it's going to stay the same. It's just going to be one-on-one coaching, no changes, just one-on-one coaching. You'll work with me for 6 months, And that's what it is as of the date of this recording. But no changes. Like, I want to continue to just serve my clients as best I can, one-on-one. I love one-on-one. And also be able to just really focus on like my next 100 offers, and even the next 100 offers after that, on really like refining my marketing and my messaging, and like really allowing it to evolve and develop into all the things that my clients have issues with. Like, I want to be able to help you, like whether you are brand spanking new in business and you've never posted a single post, or if you've been in business a few years and you're still trying to figure out how to make your first $1,000 like with ease, like without stressing yourself out and getting lost in hustle culture. Like, I want you to be able to have like a liberated business that gives you a thriving income. And so in order to hit those steps, I want to be gathering as much information as I can from my clients, from you and my community, to make sure that I'm giving you as much information as I possibly can and serving you as best I can. And then for those who want even more service, for those who really need me to like meet them where they're at and help them get to their next steps, then my one-on-one container is available. So that's my plan for 2022. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, anything else that you'd like to ask me about in terms of my 2022 strategic planning. But with that being said, I plan to take the last few weeks of December off to relax for the holidays and my birthday, and really just take in all the work that I've done already this year. Like you too. And I probably mentioned that in my last video as well, but like really just take this, don't be ashamed to take the last few weeks in the quarter of Q4 like off, just to really be like grateful for all the things that you've accomplished, all the things that you've been through, all the obstacles that you've overcome to even get to this point. And instead of trying to like push through the last few weeks of the year, trying to rush to meet some arbitrary goal. Just enjoy and just be. We get to just be. In these liberated businesses, we get to just be. So enjoy the rest of your holiday season. If you are looking for help in your business, you want to create a liberated business and make your next 1K with ease, so you can start preparing and transitioning to leave your 9-to-5 job and really start creating a business with high impact and a thriving income, then I have room for you in my one-on-one coaching program. If you want to join me and get started as early as January, then make sure that you use the link in the description box below to book an interest call, and we can talk and see if it's a good fit. All right, toodles. Bye.